As a Linux administrator, you may have some experience with the detailed configuration options of a number of network services, but few administrators have such experience with all services listed in the Red Hat Exam Prep Guide. And that's why the Exam Prep Guide suggests that you need to configure each service for basic, and I emphasize basic, operation. But what does that mean? The system should function as intended. If in doubt, it should be verifiable without firewalls or security-enhanced Linux. But that brings up another question. Should you configure services before configuring security? That's sort of a philosophical thing. I think that's the way to do things in real life. But do you have the time to go step by step on a test as compressed as the RHCE exam? Time is of the essence on the exam for most people, but some would suggest step by step is the only way to go. The decision you make is up to you. In many cases, you don't have to change much in the default configuration files. To set up the service for basic operation, the default Apache configuration file already includes a model for configuring virtual hosts. You just need to remove the comment characters and revise the names per your exam. The default Samba configuration file includes several sample stanzas for sharing directories. User home directories are made accessible to properly authenticated users by default. The default VSFTPD configuration file, once activated, sets up an anonymous FTP server. The default Squid web proxy, as well as the default SendMail and NTP configuration files, limits access to only the local system. You need to activate the desired protocols in the default Dovecot configuration file. The default Secure Shell configuration file allows access both by regular and by the root user, and that may not be desirable. Watch your exam carefully for the requirements there. If you're told to configure a caching DNS name server, start with the caching name server RPM, which installs a template that should work almost as is. These are just hints to get a network service configured for basic operation. I've detailed what you should do with each service in other videos.